I guess I would say like it's kind of made unemployment a little less scary because people know it's like, while it may not be the fabulous thing you want to do, you know you have something to fall back on. So yeah, that's my big thing is you so yeah, keep that up with the Uber stuff, and my big thing is yeah, just let's kill those interviews, dude.
Not only that, I just think it's crazy. Like, if you were to look back in time and say, let's say like the 70s, and you say one job would do everything.
Yeah.
Now, just your main source of income ain't getting you nowhere. You gotta have a side hustle. You gotta donate plasma. You gotta go
100%.
Uber.
Now,
Go
I'll
make
just
rap
say,
music. With the girls out there doing OnlyFans.
I will say,
I
I
commend
will
you
say,
guys.
I mean, I have played some side gigs. I don't know anything about the OnlyFans and donating plasma side gig, but yeah, I can totally get to that because I've done side gigs as a lifeguard and
Yeah.
teaching martial arts and everything. So yeah, that's pretty funny. But I respect all side gigs, obviously. But yeah, we yeah,
We all got to do it somehow.
yeah.
Shoot, donating plasma, that gets me like my phone bill paid for. That gets me like groceries. You know what I mean? So, and the cool thing about it, it's not taxed.
Yeah.
That's even cool.
Yeah.
But what's going on, everybody? My name is Gage,
Hey, my name's Max.
and this is the Real and the Real podcast, episode 1. If you got a little drink or a little something to smoke to, go ahead and sip on it a little bit or smoke some. Cheers to the first episode.
Let's have a good time.
That's right. And Max, like, I want to get started. Like, what made you want to do a podcast?
I've always enjoyed honestly talking to people. Gage, it's always been, what I always consider to be my my most monetizable skill. But it's just so much fun, and I enjoy talking about just entertainment in general, or just shooting the shit with friends. And I mean, it's a fun thing to do. I'm having a great time just having conversations with you even before we did this podcast. But yeah, that's that would definitely be my say why I would do it. What about you, man?
Oh, for me, like, I've always been told I could be a sales guy because I have the gift of gab. And I just feel like I could talk to anybody and anyone. And I have a lot of interesting conversations with people, like, from our people of friends, our acquaintances, even my girlfriend,
Yeah.
my dad, and I just think, I could contribute something really unique and different about where I come from and where you come from. And I think that was why I wanted to start the podcast.
Hey, I love that.
But, yeah, welcome to episode 1,
Yeah. Hey,
the pilot.
yeah.
And,
Let's have a good time.
man, there's been a lot of music releases recently.
Oh, yeah,
Who you been listening to recently?
So I would definitely say mainstream wise, it's definitely. I'll start off with my mainstream pick, which would be obviously Morgan Wallen. He One Thing at a Time, great album. Dude's bringing people into country all the time. But the main album I wanted to talk about today was Ryan Upchurch's Pioneer.
Pioneer.
Man, dude, it is just different. Like,
So, for the viewers out there, who is Upchurch? Where is he from? Tell us about more of who he is as an artist, because I might know who he is. Our camera guy Mitchell might know who he is.
Yeah, but mainstream, like just regular people. So yeah, Upchurch is he's a country rapper from Tennessee, which I always hate that term. I usually always just say it's people who are country doing rap. That's all. That's really how I see it. But he's a huge independent artist right now. A lot of people would say like he's probably other than like a couple others, like just one example, Jelly Roll. He's obviously one of the biggest independent artists right now, and he doesn't really get, at least to me, he does not get the respect he deserves on that. But as I was saying, Tennessee rapper, but his last album, Pioneer, was his latest release. And
when did it come out?
It actually came out. I got the. Let me pull up the date. Let me pull up the dates real quick. So what actually really impressed me about this album, just really, really impressed me, was this song came out only 2 weeks after One Thing at a Time from Morgan Wallen. And there were no other albums he was competing with. That was it. But that was still at the top of the charts. So One Thing at a Time drops on March 3rd. Take a get, and on March 17th, Upchurch drops Pioneer, and Pioneer goes right to the top, right to number one. And obviously the Sting,
he's independent, right?
yeah, full independent, does it himself, and all of that. And you know, it's really what makes him stand out to me. Like especially with this album, it's like he's really shown his range with this. Like, you know, a lot of the times he's been really just, you know, doing his country rap stuff and that's really been it. Now he's really diving into more, I guess I would say mainstream sounding songs, but it's how I'm now going to get more people to listen to him. We actually got a couple of songs that I use as examples. My two favorite songs on the album, actually, Pioneer and Middle of the Night, featuring Brianna Harness.
And I just want to say, before you get started on playing the records and I go into our depth and our review about it, I would say I had a chance to listen to this album a lot, and I would say something about him that is unique is that he is being independent and he is being able to tell his story without somebody else telling him what to do.
Yeah.
And I do like that it's original, because a lot of artists, you guys got to understand from a music perspective, a lot of these artists that are out there right now don't have a lot of soul, don't have a lot of, a lot going for them, because like the industry is kind of dried out a little bit, as we said. But then you kind of dig deeper and you realize it's not dried out as we think it is. There's a lot of good talent out there. There's a lot of good music, and I think Upchurch is up there with that.
Yeah, and I would say this, like social media has made it a lot easier for artists to connect with fans without needing all of those marketing dollars that those labels bring. Because that's how I found out about Upchurch. Was I didn't see him like on my charts or anything. I literally was just scrolling through YouTube one day, and it wasn't even one of his songs. It was one of his reaction videos.
Wow.
Which I was just he was making fun of another artist's song. And the song was complete cringe, so I was laughing the whole time. So that's actually what got me into it. And then actually when I met you and you told me you liked Upchurch, like connection right there, and I was like, oh my God, like I think you were actually the first person that I had met who said they knew who Ryan Upchurch was.
And I looked up Upchurch simply because everybody's like, Upchurch. I'm like, who the hell is Upchurch?
Yeah.
And then I go and listen, I'm like, oh. And then there's a song he did with Jelly Roll on there, so of course I had to listen to that. Jelly Roll's my guy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
So I'm gonna go back to back, and he showed like I said, these two songs back are the same artist, but just the difference in sound between each one. And we're gonna go right to the TikTok song right here. All right. If you're on TikTok or anything, I personally am not. But if you've seen that, this has been showing up on a lot here. So if you want to listen,
places.
So we're going to use the hook. Like just that hook alone, it's like I'm listening to that like every time when I go to the gym now, dude. Like that's a workout song. Like I see that being put in a movie or something.
You know, and what really impressed me about the hook a lot is like how he followed through on all his words and allowed it to be its like own sound. He was able to use his voice as an instrument. There's a lot of artists that if you really like invest time and look into it, like a lot of them know how to do that, and I think that's what stands out when you're getting in versus being in. You know, it's like how to use it.
Yeah, 100%. And like Upchurch really does listen to his fans, and like he really changes things up like when they want him to. But yeah, because right after that song, because Pioneer is the third song on the album, this is going straight into the song 4, and just the just how he's able to change things up in this one alone. It's like just listening like just to the hook. Like you just listen to that, it's like, and you really think like, man, like that's coming out of the same artist. Like I remember, like I've had experiences when I've tried to show people Ryan Upchurch, and I played 2 of his songs back to back, and the songs are so different. They always just go like, Max, who's this now playing? I'm like, it's the same guy. and then they just go like, no way, it's the same dude. I'm like, yeah, you know, it's not just the mainstream artists who can change things up and have good things in multiple genres.
And that's what's funny about people like Upchurch and all that, right? Is like back then when you were hearing music, it was strictly rap, strictly country, strictly this.
Yeah.
Now you have artists, which is okay. I could rap, but I could also do a little bit of rock.
Yeah.
And I could do a little bit of soul, whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of my other favorite artists, Brantley Gilbert. He's like country rock. But yeah, that's also why I connected with Church too, is because he mixes, you know, I've liked hip hop and I've liked country as their own separate genres alone. And then when I found Ryan Upchurch, and I really do see him as the song entails, at least for me in my discovery of music and everything. He's, as the song says, my pioneer of country rap, and I really enjoyed it.
Right, so I was gonna say that album went #1 on the charts.
Yeah.
What charts was that?
That was
independent. Was that
Oh no, dude! This was iTunes, everyone.
iTunes?
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny that we didn't see a single story on that. Like, I get it that Morgan's album was out for 2 weeks already, but do we also forget that his album was #1 that entire 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And I did not see, other than in the independent lane on YouTube channels, reactors, or, you know, people like me who actually follow this stuff, and I didn't see a single main article go out saying Upchurch goes number one, dethrones Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, and I think that's what's crazy about these independents now is like we are able to get our music listened to by a lot of people, and we are able to push it now without needing a record label deal or not needing anything.
Yeah.
And you know, it kind of makes me, before I bring up my album, I kind of want to talk about Jelly Roll.
Oh yeah,
you know,
dude, I'm down,
Jelly
man.
Roll is like kind of been up on the rise, kind of how like Upchurch is, and it reminds me a lot of like what Upchurch is going through right now. You hear Jelly Roll, you think like a funny rap name. Like I think it's hilarious. You know,
yeah.
somebody named Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
But then you see, okay, he went to jail. He was a drug addict. He was a rapper. You know, and I remember him with rapping for sure, but Lil White, you know, because Lil White did a lot of stuff with 3 6 Mafia, and they linked up.
It's like in his song with Brantley Gilbert, "Son of the Dirty South."
He's got a song with Brantley Gilbert.
Yes, he does.
He's got so much
dude.
music content.
And
it's
the funny
crazy.
thing was how he described himself. He said, I'm somewhere between 3 6 and Kid Rock. And I was like, oh my gosh, man, that like, and you got me onto Jelly. I've only recently got onto Jelly Roll, thanks to you, man.
Oh yeah.
But dude, yeah, that was insane. And watching him go 3 for 3 at the CMT Awards. Now, granted, I was
CMT or CMA. I thought it was CMA.
No, CMT.
Oh, CMT.
Yeah,
okay.
It's the only fan voted award show in music. So he went 3 for 3. One of them being Breakthrough Artist of the Year. And I was actually showing you something. The quote that you really liked. I actually got it pulled up here if you want to take a look at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like this is after he won Breakthrough Male Video of the Year. It wasn't for the song that he performed, which is my favorite Jelly Roll song now, is Need a Favor. But I think he won it for Son of a Sinner. But like, just listen to him. Like he's just loving the crowd and everything.
I want to thank.
Yeah, so he's just sitting here.
They let a loser win tonight, baby. They let a loser win tonight. I want to thank my record label.
Yeah, so that just moved me when I heard that. But like, yeah.
I mean, it does, because you don't see artists like Jelly Roll kind of on the rise for years dropping music.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Jelly Roll through Yellow Wolf and Ritz. And, you know, Yellow Wolf, if you really look into it, like, Yellow Wolf was kind of like the originator of like the country rap. Yeah. You know, when it comes to stuff like that. And
How long has he been around for? Because I know Upchurch and Jelly Roll, they've been around for like the last like 10 years, I think.
Look up his first album. I don't want to be wrong.
Yeah. Keep going while I keep going.
But
while I look
no,
that
man,
up.
like it is crazy. And when you hear Yellow Wolf, like you could definitely tell he was from. I thought he was black at first. I'm not gonna lie to you. I heard him on a song with Tech Nine called Worldwide Choppers, and I thought he was a black artist.
Yeah. So
And then I did a video search, I did the song Pop the Trunk, and then I see him, it was just his complexity with his voice. Like, surprised me a lot, you know?
So he's been around for a while. I got it pulled up here, and it was his first album, from what it looks like, it was Creekwater in 2005.
Yeah, Creekwater, good project.
How old were we? Like 2000. That was, put that in perspective. Call me a nerd for knowing this, but that was when
I've been 8 years old.
Yeah, so I would have been 9, and that's about right, because that's when Revenge of the Sith came out for Star Wars, 2005.
Right.
But man, dude, yeah, he's been. So yeah, he's before Upchurch and Jelly.
And it's crazy because like I kind of seen Jelly Roll on his rise, you know, from the bottom.
Yeah.
And that's something about liking underground music, is you kind of see these people from a level that you would think like, okay, like why is nobody else listening? Now they're blowing up. That's like if you think of Joyner Lucas.
Yeah.
I seen him blow up with all right, so there was one time I went to a concert, and I know I'm bouncing back and forth in between, but I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah.
Is that my freshman year at college at Grand Valley State University, I went to a show at the Intersection. Right, this is the dopest venue like to go to if you love live music. So I was like, all right, and the show was Hobson.
Yeah.
It was Hobson and Joyner Lucas, and then Token opened up for him.
All right.
And I didn't even know who Token was.
Yeah, so just for kind of a reference, some of the artists you've talked about,
Yeah.
I don't know like a whole lot about. Just because I know you're a lot more, you're way more like you're a lot
deep.
more into the independent scene than I am. But you know, like I said, I listen to mainstream artists, but obviously I lean more towards independent, just personally for me too, because I like that connection.
Yeah.
I like that connection and everything, and yeah, definitely. And recently been going more into Yellow Wolf and everything, and I think the most recent one that I heard, like the most recent release, was Alligator Boots. That was
Alligator Boots.
Yeah, that was a fun song. That was a fun song to listen to. I'm actually, you know, if I'm at work or something, and you know I just need a quick song like just to check out or anything. I'll throw that on. But who were the other artists you were talking about for the concert?
I was talking about so I was talking like doing comparisons of like artists' upbringings, because you see them from the bottom, and then you see them go up at a level.
Yeah.
So I was like Joyner Lucas and Hobson and Token, and they're at levels right now that you know is like unmatched. But kind of going back in the Yellow Wolf though, it's kind of crazy that you know going in Jelly Roll and everything, Yellow Wolf would be considered, like to me, and based on some of the things I've been seeing, as one of the founding fathers of trap music.
I can definitely
Because
see
of
that.
his sound. If you think about his beat types, I mean, there's a song, it's called Box Chevy. Yeah, Box Chevy. It has a song with Gucci Mane on it called Wanna Party.
Box Chevy, you said?
Yeah,
Oh,
and you know
I think right
Gucci.
here.
Gucci's one of the founding fathers of the trap music too.
Yeah, do you wanna? Yeah, I just kind of. I've never actually heard this one yet. I'm
Oh
listening
no,
to this
that's
album.
not it.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
It's called I Just Wanna Party.
Oh, I just want to party. Okay, we'll look that up.
But
I'll
you
keep
guys
looking
go
that
look
up.
it up. But
Yeah.
going into Jelly Roll though, I saw him live with Yellow Wolf in Grand Rapids too at the Intersection. Like when I was in college, I went to a lot of cool concerts, and he was just an amazing performer. Jelly Roll was probably the first guy that gave me goosebumps on a performance. And I've been to a Tech 9 concert. I've been to a Joyner Lucas concert. I saw Wu-Tang Clan, Nas, Russ. I saw a lot of concerts.
Yeah,
He was the only one that gave me those goosebumps.
Yeah, and I went to a concert. You know, Post Malone at like the height of Post Malone. I still love him. He's still putting out good music. But this was his sold out show. I think 2019, right before COVID. Sold out LCA. I got tickets through my ad agency that I was working at. Suite. I was in a suite and everything at LCA. Man, yeah, like I bet the way you felt there, it's like that's like, you know, even at the time, like, you know, Post Malone wasn't like my favorite artist, but yeah, him as a performer, he's just such a cool dude and a great performer. Like that, like just to relate to that, like that's definitely how I felt being at that one. And also, you know, you go to a Post Malone suite for free at a sold out show in LCA, you feel like a millionaire.
Sure.
Even though I was, you know, those millionaires are up here. I'm like down here.
Well, like last year, like I took my girlfriend to go meet Tech 9, and then we got tickets on the mezzanine seating. You know, so we got to meet all the artists. Took her out to Hopcat for dinner.
Okay.
And then, I came back, we stood in line, and then we went in the mezzanine seating. So, like, right above the floor.
This was the Jelly Roll concert?
No, this was like a Tech 9 concert I did
Okay,
for VIP, because you did box office stuff,
yeah.
and you were talking about post.
Yeah.
Like, I did something similar, and it's a great experience if you guys ever do it.
Yeah, Jelly Roll giving you goosebumps, and I know he's got a show coming here. Ticket, I brought this up. Tickets are a tad expensive with our job situations right now.
It don't even matter. Like, I'd save up and get them.
I would go because I want that same experience. But Jelly Roll, man, love it. But yeah, you just keep going on. Like, hey, would you want us to do a vlog for the if we go to the concert? Would you want us to do a vlog or something?
Maybe, and it's crazy. So I know an artist from Tech 9. His name's Jerry Robinson. He has a song with Jelly Roll too called "Daddy Issues."
Okay,
that's a really good song. Jelly Roll does the hook and everything.
That's cool.
His I think his soon-to-be wife or girlfriend
I think it's his wife.
Tara.
His wife. Yeah.
Tara for Jerry Robinson made him a custom-ass coat like for tour
cool.
when Jerry was opening up for him, and I found out he was opening up for Jelly Roll. I'm at this little Muskegon event, you know, private event. He personally invited me out, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm actually going on tour with Jelly Roll." And I'm like, "Whoa!"
You probably got.
And it's
chills,
crazy that I
dude.
know somebody that is doing that, and then I've been meeting other musicians because I perform too and everything else, and I'm a musician.
I can't make it out to your show tonight, but because I got the UFC fights tonight. I didn't have time. But hey, I'll be at your next one, dude.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to be out at a bunch of shows and performances and stuff. But yeah, like Jelly Roll as a independent like artist, so like he's making it more known now. Because for a long time, I think of independent music, I think of Tech 9, because Tech 9, you understand that he was trying to be in the industry, like back then. So you think of like his first album. So N9NE.
Okay. Yeah, so
and then his first album, like whenever that dropped. And mind you, he's been making music before that, in the 80s and stuff.
Yeah, I think looking here, they're just looking at his albums, just pulling everything up. I think his I would say like his earliest album, like you can go back far. Like these are only his recent. This is only like his recent stuff, man. Like
I mean, his first album, if you keep going down here.
Yeah, keep going. Like,
let's see, you go 99, The Calm Before the Storm. You got The Worst. You got Angelic, Absolute Power. I mean, Tech 9, that is his whole. You see how many albums he's got, bro?
He's got a lot, man.
He's got so many albums. And what was crazy before his empire was Strange Music, which is like what I'm inspired to be as an artist and like to get my music up at a level where it wants to be at.
Yeah.
He was signed to 3 deals, and the problem with him was, how do we take somebody who is a worshiper of God, but dressed in a priest robe, talks about the devil, all these other things.
Yeah.
And a lot of people weren't fucking with that back then, because of everything.
I agree. I 100% agree with that. Because I mean, if I were looking at that, I'd have a little. It would take me a minute. It'd be like an acquired taste, as I would say. But like I always say, like good music is good music, and I really do think independents, like, they understand this better than I feel like mainstream artists, because at least for me, just my personal thoughts is, they don't have to worry about appeasing the masses. They just have to make the best product possible, because that's kind of what their livelihood depends on.
And not only that, making the best product possible, but being able to make the best product possible and having that support still come to you too.
Yeah, and
that's a really big thing. And that's like I
Jelly
said,
Roll, it's like he's not fully independent anymore, because I think he does have an album. I believe it's called Creek Road Records. I think I could be wrong. I think
it's Stony Creek.
Stony Creek, yep. Stony Creek.
Now here's the thing though, just because like he has a record label backing him up, a lot of these record labels I saw in the video, I'm not sure what the show is. I think it's a Barstool show with like 2 guys on a bus.
Okay.
They had
That's weird. It
was a 20-minute segment, and I'm on Facebook and I see Jelly Roll. I'm gonna give y'all some game. I could charge y'all for this.
Yeah.
And what got me into Jelly Roll Out was like how he went into how record labels work.
Yeah.
Like, cause a lot of these young artists like don't understand what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
And they realize like they're getting
I know
in the
nothing about the
bag.
music. I know nothing about the music industry.
And that's why we're
Yeah.
here. I'm informing everybody about
Yeah.
it because a lot of people don't understand how music goes. Cause see, like, a lot of people will come at me as an artist and be like, "Well, how aren't you like not up here yet?" I was like, all this takes time. You know, it doesn't happen overnight. These people who do celebrity overnights probably been working at this for 10 years. Probably working at this their whole life, trying to get something to pop. And then they get something to pop, and then they're in.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about the independence I was impressed with Tech Nine. It was like he gets rejected by 3 label deals.
Yeah.
And then Travis O'Gwen, the founder of Strange Music, Tech Nine's the co-founder of Strange Music. They made that investment, and that's how Strange Music came to be.
So does he own? So kind of like with Jelly Roll's situation, or like Tech Nine, like they're signed to the label, but they, I guess theoretically, have ownership in the label.
They have ownership in their records.
Okay, so
And that's like
so
the idea
label's
of it.
essentially, so they get the backing of the label, but the label says, hey, we know not everyone might like everything you say, but we are still going to back you because what you bring to the table is worth it.
And
You got things like I'm just looking up some stuff here. It's like these guys are competing with, just number 10 alone as like one of the biggest record labels in the world, Interscope. Their biggest artists, like just these two alone, Dr. Dre and Lady Gaga. They're competing with labels like that. So like, that's why I was asking, because like these bigger labels, I at least just you
I would
inform me
say
if I'm
with more
wrong.
independent music, like I would even take like Wiz Khalifa and Burner in this too, because I would say Taylor Gain is an independent.
Okay.
In my
because
opinion,
I guess what
it's the following.
is it independent because the artist is the owner?
Think about
Is
it.
that how you would
Burner
consider
is a
that?
bigger artist than a lot of these people like we mentioned today, right?
Yeah.
But Burner got his big success like underground because he had all the support and
Mm.
he started making cookies with like hoodies and the weed strands and everything like that. So he found a way to capitalize and get people to continue to buy their product, but still support and grow the net worth of that artist.
Okay.
And that's something about independent that makes it good is like you have that support,
Yeah.
Pushing through. And like, whereas if you're with a label, right? And I guess this is the difference between being a label and being independent from what I got from Jelly Roll. Is that when you're in a label, like label can take percentages of a lot of stuff. They can take percentages from touring. They can take percentages from your marketing, your advertising, your song.
Yeah.
Because how they do is okay.
That's how they make. I mean,
we'll
that's how
front
they
you
make their money, right?
$500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll front you $500,000 to make this album. We'll promote it. We'll do all these things, but
we get like a
we want to
portion
get like
of,
$1 million.
Yeah, because
We want to get your $500,000.
Yeah,
and then we
these-
still want to like get percentages off of it because it's our product.
So it's basically they're not only getting like what they're promised, like in terms of like we want a return on our investment. It's more so we not only want the return on investment, but we also as a label want to be able to keep profiting off it. Look, I understand.
Well, you're an underwriter, right?
Yeah.
So like think of like when you go get a loan. You know how like when you get a loan, there's interest.
Yeah.
And you
And that's
say
like
that
the
loan's
interest,
10,000 and the interest is
'Cause
like
we're still-
5,000 or something like that.
Dude, that was a-
Don't spit
Wow.
the numbers. Don't spit the numbers. It could be any number, but I'm just giving that as an example.
Mitch, I just can't believe he literally just like blew my mind there. He managed to put that to my job like before I could even do that. So, but yeah, I totally understand that, and obviously but I also have worked in businesses. I totally understand like companies have to make they have to make that return on investment back. I totally understand that, but yeah, I would agree with you on that. Like you brought up like how we brought up they own it. Like they own the projects that they do.
Absolutely.
And that's a huge thing. Like I really just you can just apply that to anyone. You can apply that to anyone like other than artists. Like I would love to own my own company and everything. I think everyone wants that. But yeah, I think I would agree. Now there are probably benefits to being with the label, obviously, but
Huge benefits.
yeah, but I definitely say you at least just personally, but I think this is coming from more the consumer side. It's like, yeah, I kind of look at it, you sign with a label, and it's like, and then if the artists change and everything, like you completely see like a difference, like not only in their music, but like how they carry themselves and everything. And I kind of look at it like, man, like are you just doing this because like, oh yeah, like you have to do this because we'll drop you if you do.
And
Now,
it's
correct
hard.
me if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah,
I
let me
mean,
know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like that's a question I've always had because I have seen some artists go to the labels and maybe they don't change like a whole lot, but you do notice those things where it's like, man, like why are you doing this differently?
That's like a few homies that I met through like my life, like in music. Is like, there's a guy I know. I ain't gonna say his name, but he pretty much told me, yeah, I'm going to this record label X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, with what? You know, like what kind of content and stuff. I mean, if you got the talent, that's really cool, but that just sounds like very predatory.
Yeah.
Like with how like labels go after, and that's what a lot of the independents like Tech.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
doing all that. And obviously, you seen after what happened with Tech, you got songs like Face Off that's playing at the Super Bowl. You have songs like that are being played everywhere. You have like Hood Go Crazy. You have Caribou Lou. So if you remember like Jelly, all right, here's a fun fact about Jelly. I bet you don't even know this.
Okay, I mean,
All right.
like I said, I'm only.
So do you
recent.
know the album Self Medicated by Jelly Roll? The song Save Me?
I'm on it. Yes,
that
I've heard
song
that.
is on there,
Yes.
and there's another one,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna, because it's on my phone, of course. Let me
Well, everything.
let me go on my Jelly Roll.
I mean,
Yeah,
these
so
tablets are basically.
I'm gonna
laptops.
refer these two albums right here, and I'm not sure if they still do the distribution for it or not. But the albums A Beautiful Disaster and Self Medicated was actually backed by Travis O'Gwen and Tech Nine through a distribution called It Goes Up.
Man.
Now, It Goes Up, I thought was really interesting what they did too, because they have their main label, Strange Music. Well, now what they did was, okay, we can get other artists on our affiliate, and they could
Yeah.
do their own record labels. We do a la carte services.
Yeah.
So we could offer marketing, advertising, touring,
Yeah.
like all this other stuff, and merchandise lines and everything else.
Yeah,
And that's where independent music, I believe, is going to, because it's not, the artists are starting to have more power.
Yes.
And I'm quoting a little bit of this from Jelly, because again, he just spit so much good
I
game
mean,
about it.
Dude, I don't even
and that's
think
why
it's-
I
don't even think
respect
it's-
him a lot.
I mean, I don't even think it's Jelly saying that now. I mean,
So
you got
everybody.
like a lot of independent artists, like Adam Calhoun's saying that, Ryan Upchurch is saying that, Struggle Jennings is saying that, and then you got like great female artists like Brianna Harness. She's great too. I mean, I think like they're all starting to understand that like you can be independent without having to like and be profitable.
And if you go further back, you go in the further back, like all these artists were great.
Yeah.
But the problem with the artists like back then versus now is like back then everybody was on a label.
Yeah.
Tech Nine, if you look at it, was the founding father of independent music.
Yeah, 100.
You put him.
100% agree with
I
that.
would also argue, and you guys can have your opinion on it. Insane Clown Posse, a Michigan product that has their own record label called Psychopathic.
Okay,
They did
well-
the same thing. It's independent too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I would like
because
yeah.
they had the same issue. Like, how do we get our brand out there? Now we're starting to see artists now. Like, we went from not having anybody with face tattoos, and now that's such like
You got
when we were listening.
you got someone like Jelly Roll
Now-
who's got a cross under his eye, winning 3 awards at the CMTs.
And I
That's
love Jelly Roll
insane.
because he did not give a fuck about how he presents himself.
No.
He just
and you shouldn't in
he
any
just
way.
he sells himself the way he is, and that's why I'm convinced that he's really big, and to have him win the 3 awards, just shows like if you were willing to put the work and you were willing to do the effort, like God can make something impossible
and make it look small.
and make
It's
it look
just
small.
It's just like what he said. I loved that. I love that quote, and it really does just show how important independent artists really are. And I think a lot of people don't really understand that today because you go out to like any kind of just bar in general playing music, and like do you really think like they're gonna be playing like even like Jelly Roll's like some like Jelly Roll's most mainstream songs that anyone could bump to, like just straight hip hop or anything? I could never see that being played. Like I'd say the closest thing I ever got to like a country rap song being played at like a bar, like O'Toole's and Royal Oak on your mug right here, and everything, or Tequila Blue. The closest I've ever gotten to it was sorry Mitch, is that not on cam? Sorry about that. But as I was saying, essentially what the closest I got to it was like the song Broadway Girls, like the Lil Durk and Morgan Wallen version. Like the song, like it's a good song and everything.
Yeah.
But it's like it's the closest thing, and you know I'm kind of standing around just going like, man, like there's other good music out there. So it just really shows me how important it is. But
there's so much good music.
Oh
out
yeah,
there.
and like this new album you put me on to. Granted, I haven't listened to it yet because
Sure.
just haven't had time. I'll listen to it. I told you I'm gonna listen to it at the gym after this and everything. But I actually got it pulled up. I know you said you told me like you wanted to talk to me about this. Mellovation music. Now
It's called
this-
Mellow Elevation
Elevation.
Music.
Okay,
That's
now,
how he pronounced it.
Okay, I'm gonna sound really stupid right now. Mellow. Please don't tell me Marshmello collaborated with this, or did he? Or is that like the reason for the title? I'm just very curious about that. Because I'm just thinking like a mainstream person. Someone would see. I just see Mellow, Mellow. Somebody would instantly think Marshmello and everything.
No, so
All right, but yeah.
from what I know, Mellow Elevation Music is like his like inspiration of music of what his direction was going to. So we mentioned like Twista and a bunch of other artists on a post. If you follow him on Instagram, which I highly recommend, he posts some really good content. You know, it's a good album, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is his 7th studio album.
Really?
Who is Ritz though? From what I know, Ritz is representing 85 north of Atlanta. That's Gwinnett County.
Okay.
That he reps that in his music all the time. He also refers himself, and I think it's a funny
that's
ass
7.
thing. Somebody like made it, and they just been running with it. White Jesus. That's what he like. He has a project on there called White Jesus on there.
I see that. So yeah, I think it is his 7th because there's 6. Yeah, there's 6 right here. The most recent one, put a crown on it.
And then the one that was most recent was SOS and Picture Perfect that came out after Put a Crown on It.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he's from Gwinnett County, and he was also one of those independents that took him like 15 years to get to where he wanted to go. And I remember like his first thing he was working was with Yellow Wolf, was Slamerican, which is their label. And then as Ritz got discovered, Tech 9 discovered him.
Okay.
And he was on
It
Strange
seems like
Music for a long time.
It really seems like these independent artists, like they have a tight knit community. Like they all look out.
Oh, they
for
all
each
work
other.
together, and that's what I love about it. Is like you see a lot of familiar artists working with each other, like Dizzy Wright, King ISO, and everybody else.
And I love that.
And that's what's cool about independent music is like you got people that are like minded, and you guys can create that music.
Yeah.
But yeah, with this Ritz album, man, I mean, stepping up from SOS and Picture Perfect, which are really 2 good projects. This just continues to elevate every time. I've said this with every Tech 9 album too. Every time I hear Tech 9 album, it gets better and better and better and better. Yet they've been around for many years.
That's like me with Upchurch. I've been rocking with Upchurch for 3 albums now, and yeah, each one has progressively gotten better and better. It seems to be. I see more improvement with each album to each with independent artists than studio artists, big time. But yeah, like I got the album pulled up here. But was there any one that particularly you wanted like to maybe give a preview to?
So yeah, before we do the preview of it, I just want to say this is the song called Who, and it has Project Pat on it. He just dropped this album yesterday, and I gotta say, man, I like the sound that he did with this. Like Project Pat, if you guys know, he is part of 3-6 Mafia. Rest in peace, Gangsta Boo. Yeah, ho. Rest in peace to her, because she was an icon. I got to see her live before she passed at the Smokers Ball.
Man,
with Juicy J,
cool.
Devin the Dude, and all
Oh,
them.
that's cool. I know Juicy J. Yeah.
Yep, and it was iconic. So Who with Project Pat, you want to just start the song? I'll tell you when to pause it. Honestly.
Yeah. Oh man. Again, dude, I'm bumping that. Dude, that's another one. I'm bumping that at the gym. I'm bumping that at the gym later, dude. Yeah,
Man,
that's
and-
another one I'm adding to that playlist.
And I've always been a fan of like 3-6 Mafia and the Memphis and the Tennessee sound a lot.
Yeah.
But the reason why I like this song a lot, man, it reminded me like some old school 3-6 Mafia, like with the beat style and like their the way they produce is just like, I don't know, like you hear Dr. Dre, you hear all these great producers, C. Lance, Tasty, you hear a lot of people like that, and you're just like, wow. And then just like this beat, whoever produced it, y'all killed that shit for real.
Yeah,
I
dude, I understand.
good song, like front
man.
to back.
Yeah, man.
He just dropped a video for that today too.
Nice, yeah,
Yep.
and like independent. I don't know. And this is obviously coming from someone who appreciates both mainstream and independent. But like I've said, like just that connection, I feel like with their music, like you really truly feel like you're growing with them and everything. Like
That's
you
what it is.
learn about them, you see their life. And I'll always bring this back to Upchurch because he's the independent artist that got me into independent artists. And just like I said, like through his YouTube channel, like, I don't just listen to his music. Like I said, I watch his reactions. I laugh my ass off when he makes fun of bad country rap. Like he just did one. I won't say the artist names. I don't want any trouble or anything. But it was hilarious. It made me laugh. And like legitimately, like you feel like honestly, you watch these people like Jelly Roll, Upchurch, Tech Nine, all these people. Like you see them on the come up. Man, you're watching a movie, dude. Like you really are. Like you're experiencing their biopic with them. Like when the biopic comes out for Jelly Roll, I know you'll be first in line at the midnight premiere for that. I mean, I would be too. It's like that would be an experience of a lifetime. I would say like that'd be. I feel like I could write a good script on that, and I'm huge into movies. So I mean, yeah, I feel like your experience, like that experience you would have seeing a movie of Jelly Roll's life would be crazy. What would you think about that, man?
What's that?
Like a movie about Jelly Roll's life, like man, like
I think we got to see more
like,
of it,
Yeah, that would be great. But yeah, I mean that would like just lead me like that'd be such a great experience like in the movie theater. Like I wouldn't just want to stream that, man. Like just sitting down like on Netflix and stuff and just throwing on like I want to see that on a big screen. I want the popcorn and everything if I see that biopic.
So before we get into the next topic, I want to take a quick break. I got to go use the bathroom, and we'll be right back to continue this segment of episode 1. Stay tuned.
All right.
Excellent. Stop talking and go. Like you look at entertainment. And you look at the way music's going, you look at the way, because you got to understand, what year were you born?
1996.
1996, and I was born in 1998. And what I can tell you is we lived a really crazy life because that was like really when computers were really young.
Yeah.
Game systems were really young, and we got to see the transition. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, VHS, floppy disk.
Yep.
Now we go to DVD, USB, Blu-ray, hard drives, and then we go to digital. Like no need the physical thing anymore. You just download it.
Yeah.
And I just think it's crazy. But I just wonder. Like I've been watching a lot of movies lately, and I've been really getting into Netflix and Hulu because they've been coming up with some really good original content. Yeah. I guess Max, like. I'll tip the hat off to you because this is your your area.
Movies are I love
critique
movies.
In your area of precise.
Yeah.
Whatever 100%. I'm gonna say, I have a little bit too much cores right now.
That's why I went easy on the whiskey.
What changed with the experience of movies? Like, do you see it's like a production value? Do you see it's like how we want to view movies now, from like movie theaters to streaming? What is it?
I definitely would say it's obviously there are a lot of factors in it, but I definitely would say streaming. Streaming has really changed the game, and it really has changed like going back production too, because at least from a consumer standpoint, you look at some of these movies and studios want to maximize their profit. That's fine, they're a business.
Absolutely.
But I would say they've now kind of shifted over to, okay, yeah, if this is a smaller script, if this is it can be a low budget movie, but they think they can't justify putting it in theaters because sometimes they don't trust their films. So there can be great films that get put on streaming, and I see them, and I see it's like, why wasn't this put on the big screen? Which is why I'm hoping a big Netflix thing is a big Netflix streaming thing. A movie that's going to be coming out is the Peaky Blinders movie because they're ending the series with a movie. I would like. I know it's probably going to be on streaming, but I would pay to go see that in the theater. But I just think people have changed and people just don't want to go there anymore. But I do think there's something about going to those brick and mortar places. I mean, you probably enjoy going to the theaters. I mean, the ones, it's fun to do. Like, would you agree with me on that?
Yeah, man. So I can definitely agree on that. So I'm from Flint, Michigan originally, and what I could say is like we had some really cool movie theaters like around our area. So if you go to Grand Blanc, we have the movie theater called the Trillium.
Yeah.
Really great. They have 3D Max, all that cool stuff.
Oh, that's
like
cool, man.
Arcade,
I like stuff like
all that stuff.
Dude, I love stuff like that.
So we got that.
Yeah.
But a big thing we did when we were over there, we went to drive-in movie theaters a lot. And I would say like I enjoyed being at a drive-in movie theater than being at the theater because you got 2 movies for the price of one. You were able to pretty much bring whatever outside food you could bring because this is why I did not like going to movie theaters. The concession prices are high, and I get like for movie showings, they only get a certain percentage.
Yes, I actually wanted to bring that
Yeah,
up. Like
so
theaters don't start making money on those movies really until like the movie's been out for like I'd say minimum when they start making a profit on those movies is 3 weeks.
yeah.
And the studios get all that. And that's why I get mad when people say, "Oh, like I don't go to the movies because I want to get some concessions, but it's not justifiable." And I always just say, "Well, that's how they make their money. That's how they make most of their money because the studios screw them over. I think they should be getting more. They should be getting more of those profits."
Well, you figure you go on a date. Like I take my girlfriend to go to the movies sometimes. You go see something that's good. So we saw the Norseman, like the Northman with the Vikings and all that.
Yeah. I saw that.
Great film.
Yeah.
But I brought $50.
Yeah.
Because like your tickets are probably $9 a piece.
Yeah.
Depending on what day you go, they might have specials like that. That's bound to happen.
Yeah.
But then like concessions like. You get 2 drinks and a thing of popcorn. That's like over $20.
Yeah, right there.
And that's a lot of places. I went to Celebration Cinema in Grand Rapids when I was out there.
I went to that same. I went to that same one, man.
Rave.
Yeah.
All of them, man. And it's just they're all similar, and that's how they make their money, like you said.
Yeah, and like I said, the production studios are shifting to this model because, like I said, it saves them money. So if the movie isn't as good, they don't take as much of a loss.
And go ahead.
Yeah, and you look at it, it's okay, it's fine and everything with that. If you want to try to maximize your profit, but your product, like the movies, I just feel like they've suffered so much because studios are so bent on saving money. I mean, like you look at Marvel and the and Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania, and I'm sure you've seen social media, like that movie is just getting ripped up and down for the bad CGI.
I mean their guy's getting ripped up, Kid Rock's getting ripped up for the Bud Light can. Yeah. That was so funny. Why is Kid Rock getting all blasted on social media all of a sudden?
But I did find that to be justifiable because you look at it and it's like, wait a minute. This is the same studio that made Thanos, like that made the great CGI. Like I saw that and that was a real thing on the screen. But then like you look at these and it's like why has their production value gone down so much? And then everyone questions, like everyone like freaks out. It's like, Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 I think is going to be the lowest grossing Marvel movie, and I think that's actually legit if we look at the tracking here. I think the only
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, the only
lowest grossing Marvel movie.
Yeah,
Incredible Hulk 2008.
Yeah, but I think though Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 is on track to be the lowest because I know it's not Marvel,
but what about Batman versus Superman? Because I know that movie did horrible.
Yeah, and honestly, that was horrible just because they tried to jam too much into one movie.
Yep.
We can get to that.
Hey, listen, and when we do, I'm gonna say, look, we argued that in our film class.
Yeah.
I remember my very first film class. They're like, what is the worst movie you've seen? I said, Batman versus Superman, and everybody's like, yeah. But then I got asked why. I was like, and I think Marvel, you should take some notes when I'm gonna say this.
I think a lot of studios could. I mean, Disney
any
Star Wars
studio.
could too.
Here's the problem. Okay, we're gonna talk about you know, the Wasp and everything, Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And I think Ant-Man at one point, like the first one was really good.
Yeah, yeah.
The second one was, and then the third one, like you're saying, is.
Yeah.
So
like,
then,
you know, it's just been, you know, just gone down in quality.
and I feel like it
which
hasn't
that
just been
happens.
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
It's been Doctor Strange. It's
Yeah.
been also, and I think the problem with the studios right now is, like you're saying, they're kind of creatively bankrupt.
Yeah.
How
100%.
how do we make movies that are widely known, like Black
Yeah.
Panther, the
Yep.
Hulk, the Avengers,
Yeah,
Iron Man,
and-
Captain America, Batman, Superman, you name any of those action movies. I think
Those should be going. Those should
To
be going.
me-
Those should be like the theater experience. Like legit. Like, those should be the movies that people line up for the theater for. I mean, and it just baffles me that they haven't gripped the fact that these brick and mortar places have really given them a great outlet for that, but they haven't given it back. They haven't really given it back in terms of like the production value, because they don't really make a whole lot, because it's like well, it just needs to look good on streaming because more people are gonna look at it there. But like just bringing back the, like, you know, like it kind of takes away from the experience of the movie when the production value goes down.
And I think Marvel is an oversaturated brand right
Yeah,
now.
100%.
You know, because there's so many superheroes in the franchise, and you can argue the same thing with DC and everything too. And you just like
Yeah.
wonder, like, well, how can we move up from here?
Yeah.
So like, we're wanting to talk about the Avengers as an example. So if
Yeah.
you remember the very first Avengers that came out, I think I was in a freshman or sophomore in high
Yeah,
school
something
when
like
that
that.
came out.
2012, I think. Yeah, 2012, I think was when it came
So
out. I'll
it's
look
that
up
one,
right now.
and then it's the Age of Ultron,
Yep.
and then what was the
Infinity
one?
War, then Endgame.
Infinity War. I lost interest after Age of Ultron with Infinity
Doesn't
War,
surprise me.
because I just feel like they
20
could have
yeah,
they could have
2012.
done Thanos and all
Yeah.
that in a whole different, in the same movie.
Yeah.
If they would have done the screenwriting and the production.
Yeah, and it was
Correctly.
great. Yeah, yeah, and you know that's kind of where they've fallen. I think they've just lost. I think they.
Could you also argue that with Star Wars?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
with their original stuff, and then they're
Yeah.
going like Mandalorian, and
Yeah,
then
it's the,
Rogue One.
Personally, to me, I
Solo.
Personally, to me, I just think it's a lack of a plan. I
Yes.
think they just need to plan things out a little better, and then it can get better, and the fans will show that.
And do you think it's a
and they'll
lack
go
of
to
a
the
plan?
theaters.
Because if you think about before Disney acquired these, do you think like they were already doing like the stuff that they're doing, and then once Disney came on board,
No.
they're like, no, we're gonna take
Yeah, they
all
scrapped
the
it.
power away from
They
you.
scrapped it.
We're gonna do this.
Yeah, I definitely would say that, and you know, it contributes to why people aren't going to theaters anymore, because they're only watching it for streaming, and you know, these theaters are great experiences. Like the Imagine in Royal Oak here, it has a bar, it has cool arcade games, it has a bowling alley, great like reclining seats and everything, like leather seats. Like it's a great date spot, I would say, and. Even me saying that as a 26-year-old, all right? Like movies, hey, everyone, movies are still a great date. They're not just like a middle school or high school date, all right? I'm just going to say that. But yeah, but the funny thing is, you want to know what the funny thing is? They have all these great things. That sounds really fun, right? Yeah, no one still goes.
Yeah,
And
no one still
That
goes.
just pains me so much, because it's so much fun, and you know, and you combine that with huge Marvel movies that are actually good, like, you know, like Endgame and everything and all that stuff. Like, it is a great time.
And I like to say, I liked your brief little mention about brick and mortar places, because this also leads into something I was thinking about too. Like, are we starting to see brick and mortar places going away because of COVID-19, because of all the stuff going on? Because I remember when live music was on like pause for like 2 years, bro.
Yes, I
was
agree.
supposed to go to the show with my girlfriend Jordan
Yeah.
for the first time, like for her to see Tech Nine. It was with Jelly Roll.
Yeah,
And it got canceled because of COVID,
Yeah,
and we waited
I don't
2
think
years.
COVID was the cause of it. I just think it more so it just exasperated it.
Yeah.
Personally to me. But yeah, you know,
You know a good business decision would be?
what?
I think they should definitely bring back those drive-in movie theaters.
Hey, you know what?
You know, and
They're fun.
maybe
They're marketable.
get Tesla, you know, get the charging stations up, get all the
well,
other shit
and,
up.
Well, also because we now have an obsession with nostalgia now. So
Yeah.
like, I love nostalgia. It's one of the things like I love to talk about. And actually, I kind of want to talk about, just kind of just go into some things that,
But to the crowd, trends always repeat in history.
Yeah.
Remember that.
People love nostalgia.
Not to cut you off, but go ahead.
No problem, man. Like,
Yep.
just that nostalgia thing and the things like, just you love, like, just to talk about and everything. And that kind of actually brings me into what I want to talk about next is, just something like just that we're both talking about just in our lives. Like, I kind of want to give my two piece on something. This is just something for me just because, obviously, I guess I'll call it my hot take for the day. It's just because, I've been on a huge fitness journey recently, and I recently lost like 35, 40 pounds. And, I just kind of want to, I kind of just pose it as a question, I guess. Why do some people have an issue separating the idea of understanding body type and the body positivity thing? Because I totally understand, like how I've looked at myself. I did not look good like a couple of years ago. Like, I was unhealthy, like the most unhealthy. Like, I had doctors telling me I was gonna have heart problems potentially, but this other thing, and I've been on this weight loss journey, but I've had like, you look at all these stats and everything, what you should be. I'm only like 5'1", 5'2". They tell me I should be 120 pounds. Okay, I'm 144. That's insane. And so,
I thought you were 120 already.
No.
You know what I
I
mean?
definitely will never get there. But, it's just one of those things. I just want to point something out. I know it's like controversial to, sometimes controversial to promote, physical fitness and all that. But I just want to say this. I'll kind of wrap it up with this just because I've seen results this week that, like, I never thought I would achieve. That's kind of why I wanted to bring this up.
Yeah.
And, it's just one of those things, like, I just want to say this to everybody. It is not body shaming to say you have a different body type than everybody else, but you need to be the healthiest version of that body type. It's so, like, you could, like, anyone. Like, I have more respect for someone who's out of shape, who is at the gym, than like all those fitness influencers, who make like TikToks making fun of these people. And it's like, hey, I was right there. I had to start somewhere. So
At least they're trying.
Yeah, and that's my thing is I just wanted to bring that up because I really have found that recently. It's like there is a difference between knowing your body type and being the healthiest version and then actual body shaming. That should never be done. Like anyone who does that, just get out of the gym. Stay out of the gym. That's not what it's for. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I really have found the understanding for that now.
And I'd say with him too, I've been on a little fitness journey myself. I've been I think it was at one point I was like 250, and I'm still around there. But the difference was, now is like I'm eating better.
Yeah.
I'm going on my walks. I'm doing all these things, and I may not be at the gym always, but what I will be doing is I'm always going on a walk, or I'm doing something like that promotes that type of stuff.
It all starts somewhere.
It all starts somewhere.
Yeah, and I know I look at that and that just it's why I've been like so passionate about working out recently, but. But yeah, I don't know if you've got a hot take for the day, but you got some you want to wrap up, like what's going on with you right now?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say like a hot take, like you commend what you have to say because you're into fitness. You took it in a context that a lot of people would misconceive.
Yeah.
They would not understand what you meant by that, but I get what you mean by that. And listen, kind of going back to what he was saying, so I'm gonna get a little personal with you guys. But almost 5 years ago, it'd be on 4th of July 5 years ago, my mom passed away. And when my mom passed away, she did not have the healthiest body. She got beat up, with like illnesses, surgeries, and everything like that. And it ended up being her demise.
Yeah.
And like, rest her soul.
To hear that, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, she suffered.
Yeah.
And like I'd rather see her being in a peaceful place and not suffering anymore than her being in pain and continue to do that. But I say that because like I had that change in mind too.
Yeah.
When my mom passed, I said, man, I gotta really take care of my body.
Yeah.
So I've been, like
man.
eating balanced meals. I've been doing Mediterranean. I've been eating all kinds of stuff, knowing my vegetables and doing everything. And not only that.
Yeah, because diet is
you can work out all you want.
Yeah, diet.
But if you're not dieting the way you need to,
it doesn't work.
Why are you wasting the time?
Yeah.
And
I agree. Like
I'm a
man.
big guy. You know what I mean? I'm about 250, But the difference is like I've been eating healthier. I've been
Yeah, dude. I mean,
doing what I need to do.
Yeah, I mean,
I used to drink pop all the time.
Yeah. You go through a journey. Like you go through all these things. You talk with other people. You go with all that. That's a big deal. But yeah, I think main thing. I just want to maybe one last thing I want to ask. Was there one more song maybe on your album, on your favorite album that you want to listen to before
No, actually, I wanted to continue going about like what it means to like stay determined.
Okay.
And focusing on your goals, because like him, he is staying determined to make sure he is the healthiest person that he can be, and that's what everybody should strive for. And even if like health isn't the biggest concern right now, maybe it's a passion that you're going after. And I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself. I mentioned it earlier in the show. I go by the name of Gage 810, and I've been a rapper really since I was 13 years old. And I wanted to talk to you guys about this because I'm 25, okay? Let that number sink in for a minute. I am 25 years old, and I've been chasing a dream for 12 years.
Yeah,
and
do it.
I remember the first time I recorded, like kind of like the first time you started going to the gym, I did a really shitty recording on my iMac desktop with like gaming headphones and over a Tech 9 beat.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But then as I've gotten interested and more into it, I started learning more about it. Okay, what is it going in the studio?
We all have to learn.
Yeah,
we all have to learn.
we all have
things.
those experiences. You have that learning curve. Then I was like, okay, what's the next step? Okay, go take classes.
Yeah, unless you're gifted, from the man upstairs or whoever.
And I don't believe in
worship.
talent.
Yeah, it takes determination.
Hard work and determination will always win over talent, because you're gonna work hard and strive for it. Where people who have talent think that they just got it.
Yeah.
The people who have talent need to sustain their talent.
Yep.
And you don't earn talent just by knowing it. You gain that interest.
I like that. I really love that. And I think we should just end the show on like that great note there. Just that motivation, because we want to carry that into the next episode. This first episode was quite the journey. But I just want to say again, my name's Max,
and my name is Gage.
Yeah, and this is the real and the real podcast. We appreciate it. You can look us up at the Real and the Real podcast, and you can find me at Max_Abowd, ABOWD, all lowercase. How can they find you, Gage?
Sure, you guys can find me at Gage810. That's GAGEOF810. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and you can find our podcast on YouTube and Instagram, The Real and the Real podcast, and we'll have it below in our little subtitles right down there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for watching, and get ready for episode 2.
Yep, big things coming. Peace.